morning. I'm Arlene King. Oh, all right. Thank you. We're going to get some energy and some heat flowing in this room because I'm kind of cold myself. And I thought I turned the heat on, but we'll get that worked out. So thank you all for being here. We'll have our opening song with our music ministry, and we'll just come out and connect with each other, say hello. If you want to hug, you can hug. If not, you do the Wakanda greeting. We just want to connect early and get some heat up and get going here in this room. So thank you for being here. And we're all set. Reverend Michelle and the band. So I'll get started. We just go out and say hello to you.
Well, come on, band, give me loves. We're going to ask you to join us this morning with this song called Rising Strong. Oh, sorry, what? Yes, you can greet each other too. Yes, please. Oh, take my hand now. Yes, you belong. And lift your voice. Now we'll sing this song. And we will root down into the ground. Now we're rising strong. Yeah, we're rising strong. As you greet each other, say, oh, take my hand. Now, yes, you belong. And lift your voice. Now we'll sing this song. We'll sing this song. And we will root down into the ground. Now we're rising strong. Yeah, we're rising strong.
Yes, we are rising strong. Strong when we unite. Rising strong. Thank you for that beautiful song. So let us go within. Go within to that secret place within, the place where God resides. So I start with giving thanks for this day. From the time I woke up to the time, this present moment, I am just grateful. I'm grateful for all that goes on in the world, even though it may not be what we want it to be. We do know that God's in the center, and that's what we hold on to. So with knowing this in gratitude, I know that there's only one life. That life is God. It's whole, perfect, and complete. It's a life of peace, a life of joy, of prosperity, abundance, love. And that's our life. A life that cannot be denied because we're rising strong. A life that is full of truth because we're rising strong. A life of all that we need because we're rising strong, knowing that our needs are met. So for this moment and this time, I just give thanks for this beautiful day that has bestowed upon us. Blessing those who are in service today, our music ministry, our AV team, our practitioners, our youth and family, our security, and anyone else who had anything to do with this service. I just know we have come to serve. Come to serve. And in serving, life is wonderful. Because not only we're giving out, we're getting back. And that's the life that we live. And I'm blessing Reverend Erika as she brings the word today, knowing that God has a message coming through her to us. And we receive that message in love. And I bless you today for you are in the right and perfect place. We are together. So I give thanks in releasing my word, knowing that it is complete in the mind of God. I allow it to be, I let it go, and so it is.
So it is.
Good morning again. We got a little heat rising in here. I feel it getting warmer and warmer. Because I am always cold, it feels like, but I feel the energy of love in this room. Again, my name is Arlene King, and I welcome you all here who are with us in person and those who are online. We greet you in love. So I ask if you're here with us for the first time today, I invite you to stand and let us acknowledge your presence. Send our East Bay love out your way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being with us. East Bay, please remain standing. We want to give you some love, and you'll receive a gift from our greeters. Welcome to East Bay.
Welcome to East Bay.
We're so glad you're here. Your presence is a gift to us. We receive you in love. We know that God is all there is. Welcome home. I'm just sitting and allowing people to come into the room, to the presence. And for those who are online, if you don't mind, just putting your name in the chat and where you're coming from. Where are you? Where are you today? We want to know that. And someone will respond to you because we know we're all one wherever we are. I believe it's time for a song. Let's welcome our music ministry this morning.
Go ahead, Penny. Go ahead and establish it for me. I asked for your apologies. I got verklempt because I saw a singer friend of mine walk through The Doors, a fireman here in the Bay Area. And, ooh, I just wanted to take him the microphone. Ooh.
Come on up.
So now that I know that he's walked through the doors, his name is Larry Sampson, I will bother him later. He and I used to sing with Jackie Hairston back in the days.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, I met him singing with Jacqueline Butler Hairston.
Oh, wow.
So I ask you just be patient with me because I wasn't paying attention. This is a song by Brandis McKenzie. And your part is At the Well. Can you say that back? It'll be obvious. Uh-oh. I never knew there was a place to go where my spirit's thirst is quenched. Hold on to yourself, I'm hearing.
Yes.
Hold on to the best of who you are. It wasn't quite the way I had imagined, and yet it's more than all my dreams. Hold on to yourself, I'm hearing. It's more than what it seems. So here we are gathered, and here we are just like you, right here in all matters. Everything you do. At the well, the time has come for everything. At the well, your life becomes an endless spring. At the well, for everyone's imaginings. At the well, everyone is soaring. I never knew there was a place to go where my spirit's thirst is quenched. Hold
At the well. That's where it's going down? Please, please put your hands together again for our music ministry. We have James Jeffley on bass, Martin Trousseau, we have Benny and Robert. We have all of our wonderful musicians and Reverend Queen Michelle Jordan. If you feel comfortable, please stand. And along with me, we'll do our prayer, our affirmation, our recognition of the truth that has been with us, so many of us, in our hour of need. And it's coming. So just say, this is a good time to take a breath. All right, together. God is the only power in my life. Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me. No past experience has power over me. I am a perfect child of God, and nothing that anyone has ever done or said can interfere with my divine inheritance. The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life. The strength of God is mine to use. Hold on. Because we could say it, or we could know it. I prefer that we know it. Because I don't know about you, but I could use a little extra strength right now. Let's say that one again. The strength of God is mine to use. Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy, I discover that all that I need is within me right now. As I forgive the past, hold on. Because that right there is it. Thanksgiving is coming. That's all I got to say about that. Let's say it again. As I forgive the past, I find that I have nothing to atone for and nothing to run away from. Casting off the old me, I discover my true self. I take dominion in my life. Old habits have no power over me. Conditions have no power over me. Personalities have no power over me. I take dominion. I am whole. I am free. I am complete, now and forevermore, and so it is. Yes. All right. Yes, we're going to be about the business of taking dominion. Because I think we might need a reminder that personalities have no power over us, no matter what job they get. So one of the things that we want to start integrating into our service is testimony. How many people have an East Bay story, a testimony of what this teaching, this philosophy, this community did for us? It is, for so many of us, the glue of what keeps us here, what keeps us coming back, regardless to whatever personalities or issues or whatever it is we don't like. It's okay to not like some things. But testimony is the bedrock of this teaching. Well, I guess I should introduce myself. We do have some new folks. Hi. I'm Reverend Derica, and I use she or they gender pronouns. I always like to tell you what my pronouns are because you can't tell by looking at me. And I am the senior minister here at this place, the East Bay Church of Religious Science. Now, we didn't plan to be twins with our outfits today, but we do have a testimony from someone that I have already found to be a sister in spirit. So, Jessica, please come and share with us your testimony.
Good morning, East Bay. My name is Jessica Harris. I've been coming to East Bay for 10 years now. But I've been committed coming for the last year, a little over. So I wanted to give a testimony today. I was asked to speak about the class that I'm taking right now, and it's 5 Gifts to an Abundant Life. Thank you. Taught by Reverend Arlene. Anyways, okay, I'm nervous. Thank you. Okay, so I'm here to talk about today the experiences that I've had since I've started this course. I was really excited to take this course with Arlene, and so I've been working with her a lot outside of this course in service, and so it was a pleasure to be asked to be here before you all today. So today I'm going to talk about, first of all, gratitude, and I just want to say that I'm so grateful to this community. Outside of this course, I was given the opportunity to further my education, and with you all and the Reverend E Scholarship, I was able to pay my tuition, and I was awarded 2 scholarships. One was last year's, and then this term as well. So I wanted to thank you all first. So thank you for that. And the next thing I wanted to do is talk about tithing. The first course we took, the first class, we just went over a brief overview of all of what the gifts are. So the first is gratitude, second is intentions, third is forgiveness, fourth is tithing, and the last is surrender. And when we talked about tithing, I was like, hold up, I don't know, I just moved. I am now gonna be paying 2.5 times more than I was paying for my rent. Tithing seems like a lot right now. And I was really, really nervous, and Arlene held the space to allow me to express my concerns and fears. And she said, it's okay, tithe what you feel comfortable with at this time. And so I doubled my tithe, and that led to just a lot of gifts from the people in my community at work. I had some people that I work with, peers that I work with, they saw what I was doing for the community. Outside of my job, I give to those in need, and they were just, money was coming in, and I was surprised by who and why. And then my grandma this week, or last week I think, she sent me over $1,000. And so I was just shocked by what releasing and surrendering did for me in my life. Even though I had fear, I did it with grace, and I did it with joy in my heart, and that led to just all of these gifts coming towards me. So I'm just here to say that when I let go and I surrendered to the power and presence of God within me, I was able to find some peace. So thank you.
What did she surrender to? The power and the presence of God within her. Do you understand? When she felt the fear, She did it anyway, including getting up here, because I know you. And it's the second or third time we get up, and she just gets up here anyway. How many people are like, I'm not getting up there, Reverend Tarika? Yeah, I see you. I'm coming for you. That's why I had you raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, okay. Because those are always the ones. Those of us that want the pulpit, we the ones that need to sit down sometimes. It's always the ones that come with the knees knocking. You can feel it. Because don't we all have our knees knocking about something? Don't we all have some place where it feels like we're being asked a little too much? And then you have somebody like Reverend Arlene, who's just like, it's okay, right? It's okay. Just do what you can. And then it always gives you the courage to do more than what you thought you were going to do. You're like, oh, okay, it's okay. Then I'll just double my tithe. I know that's not what you were thinking when you were saying, I can't do it. You weren't thinking whatever she said was going to lead to double your tithe. But that is what happens when we surrender to the presence of within. It can't be because I asked you. It can't be because your parents told you you had to. There has to be something inside so strong, like the song said. Something inside so strong that guides you when you have the question. But sometimes the key is to just ask the question. What is mine to do? Just ask yourself the question, what is mine to do? And then when you need help, you got to get a buddy. That's why we have prayer partners. That's why we do the classes. That's why we have practitioners. It's so you don't have to do this alone. But the work is always in the surrender. Because how many people are hard-headed like me? Oh, good, I'm in the right place. You ask for the guidance, you get the guidance. Well, you got another idea. Not yet. Okay, well, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do that. Because the thing that God gives you is always a stretch goal. That's how you know it's God. Reverend Deborah used to tell us in ministerial school, if your ministry doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Every single time I go and ask the question, what am I supposed to talk about this Sunday? I get something, and I'm like, oh, no. We're for sure not ready to do that. I told Noah Dyer, but I'm not ready to tell y'all yet. I was like, yeah, no, we're not. We're going to pick a different Sunday for that. So we're going to work up to it. That's right, Queen Michelle, you understand. Reverend E made a joke last week. How many people were here and saw Reverend E last week? Beautiful, beautiful. When I tell people she's still preaching at 93, they're like, really? She is what I think the younger generation calls goals. Because Reverend E is not just preaching at 93. Reverend E calls me every other day telling me something else she's about to do. Right? She's like, I want to take a class on teaching on Zoom because I need to figure out how to do that a little bit better. I mean, do you understand that consciousness? Right? Because there's what we call a human race consciousness that says, at this age, I can't. Right? Or at this educational level, I can't. Because I don't look this way, I can't. Because of the trauma that I've been through, I can't. Right? We have a story that we make up about why we're not able, but it's a lie. Any story that tells you you're not able is a lie. That's how you know it's the story. It's because it's like a little gremlin sitting there like, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. And Reverend E is human just like the rest of us. She'll call me someday and be like, I can't. And I'm like, you're going to feel better if you just come to church. And it's okay sometimes for us to rest, right? It's important because we don't want to give from the bottom of our cup. We want to give from the overflow. But only you and your spirit know what's yours to do. Sometimes when you just want to lay there, you need to get up. And sometimes when you just want to go, you need to sit down. That's the thing, is there is no cookie cutter in this thing that I can say one thing to everybody and it's true. That's why it's so great to have a personal relationship with Spirit. So Reverend E was teasing me last week at service, and she talked about how I scheduled her to talk after the election. Now, the truth is, it was originally scheduled because I was supposed to be in Jamaica at Reverend Michelle Senegal's ordination, so sending blessings to her. They had a wonderful time with Ricky Byers and her community there in Jamaica. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful. But I actually decided not to go because I am definitely one of those people that runs around and needed to sit down. And Reverend was like, I'm so glad, because you don't need to get on a plane and fly anywhere. You just need to sit down. And there's a rest deck that Tricia Hershey wrote, who does the NAP ministry, which is a ministry that was created for Black women because we were tired, and that was before the election, right? And she actually came to Stanford when I was working there, and we used to actually go and take naps in the middle of the day once a week with her and bring our little pallets and blankets and lay down. Some of us are tired and need to rest. And here's what one of the sayings from her rest deck. Rest is not a privilege. Rest is a human right. I don't have to earn rest. Okay? Now, you know I'm talking to you, right? It's not better because you're doing so much. It's worse. I already had to have that conversation with somebody this morning. I said, I don't want to see you moving. I want to see you sitting down. But in order for that to happen, often we have to do what Jessica does, which is we have to ask for help. Because the best way to burn out is to do it all yourself. Reverend Anthony and I were in the back talking about that this morning. Some of us are so used to being shiny, so used to being the one, that it's hard for us to make a seat at the table for somebody else to do the work. Now, East Bay, I'm talking about us now. How many people in here would like to just be a little bit more? Now, I'm not asking you to sign up for something for every week, but how many people in here would like to be just a little bit more involved at something at East Bay? Raise your hand high. Patricia, look around. Patricia needs help with the bites after service. And I have made Patricia, now you raise your hand. Because they gotta, right. So this is the hospitality after service, which I need to tell you is one of the most important things church do, is have food after service so people can fellowship. So you find Patricia, or Asha in the back is with ushers and greeters, raise your hand, right? And there's the ushers. You find them. JJ needs help in the booth. You don't have to do it so look, JJ put both hands up. Brock is working on the toy drive for the holidays. Raise your hand, Brock. Right? Arlene can come and put 2 hands and 2 feet because she always needs help with something. Who else has got a ministry that needs help with something? Oh, Queen Michelle needs people to sing. Precious needs help in the bookstore. You see what I'm saying? This is how we do it differently. So we're having a fair on December 8th. Lord, I'm in April already. We're having a fair on December 8th where you can sign up for more of these opportunities. But I just wanted to say, we don't want our folks to burn out. And this is how we become a community. Jessica talked about, she said, I've been here for 10 years, but I just got committed the last year. She was done with shacking up. She did the new member orientation, and she really did. She kind of came out in a much bigger way. And some of y'all, you're about in that trajectory. You've been here for a minute, and it's about time. You know you can sing. You know you in the shower out there jamming. Ain't no reason that we don't have a full choir up here. I see you, Nikki Thomas. Come on, we ready. You can't come and sing at the 50th anniversary and we be like, oh, okay, look, I'm plotting on that already. But I'm actually grateful, Nikki, for your service that we've already got folks working on announcements and working on social media and so many things. So I do try to not burn people out with 12 things or whenever you're ready. But you know there's something. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important. How many people have something that's bothering them, something that's hurting them right now? Whether it's something in your body, something in the body of your affairs, your finances, your family. There is nothing like service to change your whole attitude about life. When I was an undergraduate at Stanford, we did a lot of work in the community in East Palo Alto. And so when I came back to teach there 25 years later, a lot of the students would complain about a lot of the things on campus. And they would talk about what they didn't have or how the food was and the whatever. And I realized that when they stopped doing the service in East Palo Alto, there was a difference in the attitude. Because there was no way we were going to go over there in East Palo Alto and provide service and still be complaining about the life we had on the farm. Do you understand what I'm saying? You needed to be present to what's going on right down the street in Oakland. I saw Reverend Ona peek her head in earlier, right? She's on sabbatical. We send her love and blessings. But she's reminded us we got food distribution today. So where are my faces, people? Yes. Oh, but they got their vests on today, looking cute, right? We've had a food pantry in this church for 15, 20, 20 plus years, I'm hearing, right? Nothing like service. We got youth and family happening in the back right now. We want a world where our children grow up with this philosophy not as a remedy for the hatred they've been taught in the world, but as a vaccination, or maybe I can't use that term with some of y'all, but let's see, a protection from the inside right from the beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can serve. There's some way for each of us to serve. I do want to talk about the election because when I asked what people have bothering them, it's certainly one of the things we talked about. And I'm mindful that we're hurting. Thank you. Thank you. We're hurting. But I'm also mindful, I was reminded this week, that some folks in our community voted for Trump. And they're not all white, so you can get past that illusion that you made. Right? So just take a deep breath. Because I've been talking to you about radical oneness, but I've been talking about it like it was something we needed to do with some people out there. And I'm more mindful now that that was a big assumption, that we have folks right in here. And I was trying to figure out, why am I not as distraught as some people? And that's part of what I did when I took the week off last week. I really wanted to be with what is Spirit giving me to say about this? And I want to tell you, I took foundation with Reverend E and Reverend Mwata. And at the time, Reverend Mwata was actually talking about forgiving the man who killed his father. And I was taught in foundation that there was no one outside of God. And we would sit in the classroom and be like, no one? No one? And I remember the moment Reverend E said, not even Hitler. And I felt just like that. Everything in my spirit recoiled, like, wait a minute, hold on. If there was ever an example, somebody that we just can't give a pass, it's that one. And what I've come to realize these many years of teaching is that sometimes we think that unconditional love of all beings means to condone or even to support the horrific behaviors that they engage in. But if we ask ourselves about some of our greatest mystic teachers, part of what we admired so deeply about them was their ability to love those that spitefully use them. When we looked at Mandela, what was it that we loved about him so much is that they could not break his spirit no matter how long they locked him up. That even from the place that many of us would find our deepest anger, resentment, and despair, from that place he spoke healing. Now he spoke truth and reconciliation, but he spoke it from a place of aspiration that one day there would be one South Africa. Now we haven't come to that day yet. There's work still to do. We had the Committee on South African Solidarity here for their anniversary. A few folks went, and they've asked us to be a partner with them in the future. So there's work to do. There's always work to do. But it's the come from that we do the work from that's so critical. So that is what I know about that. And I was listening to Reverend E and listening to Reverend Michael and listening to so many people, and Spirit said to me, you know, you ought to listen to Ernest Holmes. And I was like, ooh. So I was listening to this quote. I actually got to listen, just sat and listened to Ernest Holmes give some speeches. And he said this in one of the ones that I was listening to. He said, something within us tells us that we are only half alive, that we are not getting what we ought to out of this thing called life. You share this feeling with every other person, and you instinctively know that there is something you ought to be able to tune into, something that is at the very center of your own being, which could make everything right, not only for yourself, but for others and the whole world. Something inside so strong says what is ours to do. He also said, does it matter how long a room has been dark? If you going in there and turning on the light? We don't have to keep sitting and talking over and over again about the darkness. We have to see it, acknowledge it, and work on changing it, but we cannot use the master's tools to dismantle the master's house. The master's tools are hatred and vitriol and fear, and we cannot and will not adopt those no matter how many text messages you send me, Democratic Party. I am just not in this for the business of defeat. Almost every text that I got from the Democratic Party during this election said Trump. Every single one. That's the master's tools. Who we gonna defeat? Who we gonna beat? Who we gonna rule over? That's just shift and rule. But that's not what the real message is. The real message is that we want all people to have the right to their freedom. The real message is that we want health care for everybody. We want dominion over our bodies. The real message is we're not about to mass deport anybody, not out of California, we're not. If we gotta be a sanctuary church, we'll be a sanctuary church. The message is for what we are for, not what we are against. Do you understand? We've lost the message. The message is safety does not mean demonizing our children. See, this is why I'm afraid of the demonizing of anybody, because I'm black. And my people have been demonized since day one. Somebody made the Bible the reason. Somebody made biology the reason. Somebody made crime statistics the reason. Somebody made up that there was crack babies, and that's why we ought to put all the women in jail before we even started putting the dealers in jail. But let me tell you something, crack babies was made up. It was made up. It's not even a real thing. The real problem with those babies that you saw on television, if you was alive at that time, was fetal alcohol syndrome. It was made up because we're so invested in the story of the enemy. You live by that tactic, you'll die by it. So let me read you the whole Audre Lorde quote. For the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us temporarily to beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change. And this fact is only threatening to those women who still define the master's house as their only source of support. Because she was talking about feminism, see? And who was he? Now we're in a part of the election where we start doing the blame analysis. Well, see, it was white women, it was Latino men, and if the young people hadn't been so worried about Gaza, and if the black men hadn't been dealing with their misogynoir against Kamala, we got all the reasons. We can blame Michigan or North Carolina, or blame whoever you want to blame. But that is not what this moment is about. We need to do an analysis. But I'm going to tell you right now, as a person who is wearing my solidarity green, because see, I couldn't talk about voting for Kamala when she was running. I can only talk about it now after the fact, because that's, politically it's not possible for a nonprofit to talk that way. But the message we had didn't work. It wasn't on value. It wasn't on point. We were in the master's house using the master's tools. Now, sometimes people think when we say something like that, because y'all know I come from a radical activism background. We had an interesting conversation this week about someone in the church who told me, I say this thing all the time that if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. And one of the members every time you say that, I feel like maybe I don't belong because I'm not angry and I'm not getting ready to get into all that activist stuff. I remember Deborah called me before I became minister and said, I have a question from a friend who wants to know, well, what if they don't want their church to be, activist focused and, blah, blah. I said, tell them don't vote for me. She was like, oh. So I have that background. Reverend E called me during Oscar Grant's, the protest against the murder of Oscar Grant. She said, I just seen you screaming on television, mad. A practitioner is the presence of peace. And I was in that no justice, no peace moment. But this teaching was in me. So when we got ready to name the march, I said, we're going to call it Working for Justice, not fighting, because I had that already. Working for justice, praying for peace. And let me tell you the pushback I got from my activist friends. We don't need no praying. And I was like, his mother is a minister, right? Somebody told me it's not about the family. The movement is bigger than the family. And I said, see, this is the thing we're not recognizing. I'm going to call this the inside-outside game. That's what I told my students at Stanford. This is the inside-outside game. We cannot do the outside work without the 4 pivots having us look on the inside. See, we've got to go from lens to mirror. We've got to look at what is it in us that makes us so afraid of prayer as part of the solution. I'm reading Prentice Hemphill's What It Takes to Heal. That's going to be our book at least next month or January or something. It is blowing my mind again, right? Much like the 4 pivots, because it's reminding us that we have to have healing justice, right? We can't just have the justice that says, I want to have what you have. Because what's wrong with what they have is that it's fascist. It's sexist, it's homophobic, it's racist, it's capitalist, it's oppressive in almost every possible way. We're not trying to get that. We're trying to dismantle that. See, racism is like a conveyor belt. It is just happening. And if you are doing nothing, you are going right along with it. You have to turn against that conveyor belt and take concrete action to move in the opposite direction. So no, it's not going to be enough for you to get yourself personally free using this philosophy. It's not going to be enough. See, that's the difference from when I came in, is that everybody wanted to talk about their personal prosperity. Everybody wanted to talk about their personal liberation. Everybody wanted to talk about how they healed themselves. But what about Oakland? It's okay to be tired. If you've been working hard, take a rest. But if you ain't been working hard enough to get a rest, come on and get up. You understand what I'm saying? So the conveyor belt, you also can't just be like, oh, racism is so awful. Still going right along with it. So this radical oneness that we're talking about, what we're talking about is doing our inner healing work so we can go to the conveyor belt and dismantle it. We have to build our capacity, our wellness, our personal healing so that we can collectively come together as one church. Just look around in this room right here. And just by looking at the people in here, you can see that if this church can become one church, that's the model the whole world is looking for. Now, so if you would just stop looking side-eye at whoever you think is not like you, because if you can't get along with the people in your spiritual community, we don't have no hope. Then you got the electoral folks that reflect your consciousness. We loved him when he was firing people. You're fired. We thought that was real funny till he started firing the whole government. What we have is a reality TV president. See, we act all outraged. Like, I don't understand how anybody could even consider voting for him. And I just don't even understand how you can support somebody who says the horrible things he says. Like you ain't got somebody horrible in your family that you love. Because I love all manner of sexists and homophobes. Oh, I'm by myself? I let my homophobic stepfather speak ill of queerness in front of my children who later came out as queer. Some of us letting them speak that queer homophobia right now. But I promise you, we are going to push ourselves into the places, the recesses, where we are just as horrible as the deplorables. See, these language that we use to come up with and talk about other people, it's like I was having a conversation and somebody was talking about, well, you know, they're largely uneducated. I was like, interesting. Because aren't we supposed to be the party that's supporting all of poor folks and, you know, people who are here undocumented and haven't had a chance to get an education? Oh, but if they're on the other side, then their education matters. I'm only telling you this because some of y'all got to go to Thanksgiving dinner. And you've been trying to figure out how are you going to deal with it. You've been trying to figure out whether you're even going this year. I might just have to take a break because I don't even know how I'm going to deal with it. But like Reverend E said to me, a practitioner is the presence of peace. You don't need a license to be a practitioner of this philosophy. You know what you read every week. God is the only power in my life. So either it's true or it's not. Because the reality is going to give your uncle this lecture at Thanksgiving dinner going to be the best way to change things? Nobody really wants to hear you lecture, and you don't want to hear them lecture either. So just go be a human being. Just go practice unconditional love. Just go be the God presence. Somebody said you might be the only Bible that anyone ever reads. You might be the only science in my textbook. Don't talk about it, be about it. this is your time to shine. And it's hard. It's okay if you're not ready. I understand there are some people I don't have dinner with. I understand. But don't go in there fighting. For what? And then when we call you and ask you to fight for the children in Oakland or for the sexually exploited minors or the people who need food, now you don't want to fight. Now you're too busy, too tired. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got all day to watch that MSNBC madness, which sounds just like Fox in case you haven't noticed. Oh, you don't want to hear that. They sound exactly the same. They may have different content, which is important, but they're not even talking about the content. It's all personality. He did this, he did that. I know, because I call my father, and he watches it all day. You know what he did. Sorry, Daddy. He watches every Sunday. I'm just telling the truth. Just turn it off. Just turn it off for a little while. Watch the Temptations videos. Just see a good movie. Let Alicia have the control sometimes, Daddy. You just got to turn it off. And I'm not talking about him. Talk radio in your car. Come on now. Just take a break. Just take a break. How much new information are you really learning? It's just, these are affirmations. It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. That's an affirmation. And it shapes your consciousness. It shapes how your day goes. It shapes how you approach people. It shapes what you think about. More white folks are starting to come to the church at East Bay. Take a breath. If you got a tape going on about white people are this and white people are that, then you better take a breath, because we've been talking about radical oneness in here. So this is going to attract all people who are ready for that. So we actually have work to do to be ready for that, right? Because if you know anything about me, I'm unapologetically black, so that ain't going nowhere. But radical oneness is the movement. And we have to go into the places where we put somebody outside of that circle. Whoever it is, whatever group of people you put outside of that circle, right? I remember one of my daughter's friends telling me men are trash. It was such a popular expression, and I was like, but then what? But then what comes from that? Patriarchy is horrible. Misogyny must be stopped, but men are not trash. You got to understand the difference between dismantling a system and denigrating a people. See, we're trying to dismantle the police as we knew them. Anybody know about the rioters in Oakland? No, it's time to let that go. I don't care what Proposition 36 you pass. We're not getting ready to go back to the days where the police were terrorizing our young people, right? We're not doing that. And fortunately, we have a practitioner on the police commission. Come on, Shawana Booker, raise your hand. Come on in the back. Yeah, she was not prepared for me to call her out. You see, in the midst of everything, there's always some good news. We have Latifah Simon, who took Barbara Lee's seat in Congress. So there's always something good that we can focus on if we want to. I want to read a little bit more Ernest Holmes, because I was really getting into what he had to say about this river of life, and this idea that we could pollute the river of life is where we get confused. And this is the river of life on page 166 in Living the Science of Mind. He says, it appears that we have the ability at least temporarily to pollute the stream of life with the consciousness of hate, despair, or any negative thought which denies its purity. But of course, we do not really have the power to destroy, only to mold and remold. Because it's fortunate indeed that this is true, for in spite of all of our misdirection, we are still being carried forward on the bosom of this infinite stream to a harbor of perfect safety. And we may rest in absolute assurance that good will be the final goal of all things. Now see, this is the part that's hard when it gets dark. This is the part that's hard when you see laws and systems and threats being put out into the public consciousness. We need to be concerned for our trans community. We need to be concerned for our immigrant community. We need to be concerned, but we need not be afraid that the goal is going to destroy us. Reverend E told you last week, if God is for us, who can be against us? We can hasten the advent of this good by definitely clarifying our thought and by daily meditating upon the invisible source, the wellspring of life within each one of us. That was the thing that we just talked about. That was the thing that Jessica testified about. That is the thing that you have to do first. We want to be about the business of dismantling the conveyor belt. There's no doubt about it. But there is an order to this thing. And the first thing is to go within. Because on page 169, he says, you have dominion. With an understanding of this science, this religious science, fear should disappear. And with direct application of this principle to your problems, you will discover that they will begin to seem less insistent. And this is the action that Ernest Holmes impels us. Begin to act as though you already had dominion over evil. It's like he wrote this just for us for right now. As though all fear were a phantom, and as though everything you have been afraid of were unreal. And I'm not saying it's unreal, because maybe that's not really the way, but just not all powerful. Do you understand? We can't give all of our power away in this moment. Declare the truth by saying there's nothing to be afraid of, that you no longer entertain any images of fear, that good is the only power there is, that this good, which is the only power there is now operating in your affairs. He says it's not enough to say God is free. This statement has to be personal. The freedom of God is my freedom. Say that. The power of God is my power. You don't have to say God if that word doesn't work for you. You can say spirit, love, divine energy. Just insert what works for you right here. The presence of God, or whatever your thing is in me. The mind of spirit is my mind. The strength of divine love is my strength. And the joy of God's love is my joy. We're building a movement. And it's going to require the inside-outside game. We're going to have to get the healing we need inside us, to have the strength we need to be the model for changing this world. So wherever you are on that spectrum, take a class, talk to a practitioner for prayer, come to the 12-step meeting. We're getting ready to start next month a Friday night healing arts service that Fabiana and Chris the Alchemist are putting together called Revel. There's going to be lots of opportunities for healing. We're going to have an ending stigma of mental health program. We have a women's empowerment group. We have a men's ministry. There's some place that you can build community and get to the business of healing. It's urgent now. We want to be well when we join hands and build a circle that holds the pain of this community right here in Oakland. Because we could talk about the national election, but some stuff went down in Oakland. Some stuff went down in California. We just ratified slavery in the prisons. We have a prison ministry. It needs to grow right now. Because can you imagine being in prison right now and hearing that this state voted that it was okay for you to be a slave? We've got work to do to be a comfort to the people who are hurting in this world. But if you've been working and you need to sit down, then rest. And if you've been resting, it might be time to raise your hand and say, I'm ready. But let's do our healing work. And as we're doing that, I want to lift up some families in our community, some individuals. We want to hold Paris Page in prayer. He's home from rehab, but our thoughts are always with him. We want to hold Wendy Worsley, who had a fall and is welcoming visitors. Wendy's are pillars in our community. And as most of you know, Gabriel Cruz, Reverend E's grandson, made his transition. Alake, Bonnie Oliver's son, made his transition. The memorial will be here on Friday. And we're asking for volunteers. The family has asked us to provide food. So if you're willing to cook or bring a dish, it'll be here Friday at 11. And so you can see Reverend Arlene, and there'll also be a place online where you can sign up to bring a dish. Oh, thank you for that. So Gabriel was one of my students in teen church, and sometimes when someone makes their transition and we know that they've been suffering for a long while, there is this relief that they don't have to suffer anymore. But I hope there is also a call to action for those of us who know there's 1,000 more Gabriels who need us, who need our prayers, who need East Bay to be a sanctuary where they can be safe. And so I just invite you to go within now. Mother, Father, two-spirit loving God, I just invoke your presence right now. That divine loving energy, it doesn't matter all the different names that all the saints, all the Yahwehs and all the Yemenyahs and all the names that we know, the Allah, all the names that we know, this consciousness throughout time across the planet is still only one life. I feel it coursing in my blood right now. I feel it in my breath, in my very bones. I feel it. Liz Wright was singing this weekend, and thank you so much for those of us who came, and thank you, Lynn, for making it possible for us to just, she said, I stretch my arms out wide and my feet go down into the black earth from where I draw my strength. And so I just stretch out now to my ancestors, to my roots, and to all those names that have been called for God. And I say there's only one life, and it's my life. And it's your life, and it's the life of East Bay Church of Religious Science. It's all life, without exception. It doesn't matter who they voted for. There's only one of us. Just like there's only one in your family, no matter who caused the hurt. I know it's hard, this forgiveness work, but we're the ones. You didn't show up here to this kind of place by accident. Every prayer that's in this prayer box, God only has one answer, and that answer is yes. Yes, yes to prosperity. Yes to divine health. Yes to a new way of looking at every single thing that has been ailing us. Because our body is regenerating ourselves all the time. And sometimes we have a good day in spite of the pain just because we're feeling grateful. Someday we just look at it differently. And someday we take a nap. And that's all right too. So I'm just giving thanks now for the practitioners, for the ministers, for the prayer angels in our community who know how to see the truth even sometimes when we feel lost. All the people here who have prayed and prayed and prayed that this place, this East Bay Church, would be a sanctuary for anyone in need. I know that the prayers, whether they're in this box or on our heart, we're rising strong. There is a movement happening. You're not here by accident. The world is asking, what do we do now? What's the way forward now? And I'm saying we're sitting here hiding when we are the answer the world has been waiting for. We're already doing the thing that nobody thought could be done, coming together across race, across sexual orientation, across religious beliefs. I'm saying this is it. And so let's be at our very best. Let's be at our very closest. Let's come together closer now, because there's work to do. Work to do in Oakland, work to do in our global community. If you're watching somewhere, know you're part of this. It's not an accident. Whenever, wherever you're watching it, look around. It's time. This is it. This is our moment for this teaching to fulfill our mission as a church, to transform the entire planet. And so if you're willing to change whatever needs to be changed in your own thinking so that you can heal whatever needs to be healed in your own life, if you're willing to turn within and consult with the still small voice of God and let it be your guide, I promise, I know for sure, ask me how I know, that just that mustard seed of faith is enough to change everything. It changed my life. So I'm just here to testify that the most important step in all of these 5 steps of treatment is this one we call release. It's the letting go of the old idea of all the fears and the shame that binds us. It's letting go of all the judgment and all of the anxiety, just letting it have a seat and turning it over. Whatever problem we have, whatever challenge we have, we take it to the altar. We take it to the altar. My great-grandmama used to sing, "What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and grief to bear. What a privilege it is to carry everything." Aretha Franklin said, everything, 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 everything to God in prayer. So whatever that construct is, you don't need a person in the sky. You're turning it over to divine right action. You're turning it over to love and law. You're planting this seed in the soil. The consciousness of God. And it says yes. It says yes. I got you. I got you. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Derica. And yes, just stand right here. Yeah, we have to do this, yeah. Extend our hands in love. We see you. We know who you are. the bright light shining to and for all. We love you. We appreciate you. And so it is. You got it. It is time for our gracious giving, and I invite Dr. Robert Hopkins to come forward. And we welcome in the children. So cute.
Hi, Marie Nicole. It's so good to see you. All right. Oh, hey, Becky. Hi. Are you talking today? Yes.
I'm going. Are
we gonna go that way?
You're going to sing a song? Yeah. That is awesome. We're doing what? Here, let me let you do that. Introduce yourself.
Hi, family. My name is Marie Nicole. I'm serving youth and family today. And I will let our lead teacher speak today about our activity, and then we'll get into some shares.
Okay, good morning. So we read a little book this morning, did a little movement meditation, and then we did an art project. So we have a couple people that are going to share about what we learned, a couple people sharing their art projects, quick little song, and then a closing thought. So nice and quick, okay? Because we don't want to take too long. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Harper? Say your name.
My name is Harper, and today we learned that we read a book about there was a tree and and there was also a boy, and then the tree gave a bunch of stuff to the boy, and then the boy got older, and then the tree had nothing left to give the boy, but then the boy needed was somewhere quiet to sit, and so the tree was a stump, so the stump let him sit on him. Yeah.
Tell us what you learned. Tell us your name.
My name is Ajay.
Tell us what we learned.
Today we learned about
Caring for people.
caring for
Being kind to people.
being kind with people.
I'm going to show your spiral. Can I tell about how it relates to the spiral? Thank you. Okay, so if you get the gist so far, we're talking about kindness. Does anybody know what book we read from Harper's? The Giving Tree, right? I think I heard that. So we were just talking about how when we're kind to people, and we made spirals, as you can see some of them, just that when we're kind to people, it goes out into the world, right? So we're nice to one person, then they're nice to someone else, and they're nice to someone else, and that kindness just spreads, right? Okay, so you wanted to tell us your name and share your spiral.
My name's Darius, and today I'm presenting my spiral. Any questions for how it's worth? Any questions for how it's worth of kindness and being too kind to another?
Beautiful. Okay, you were going to go?
So I'm going to do my leaf song, and it's leaves are falling down, down, down. Leaves are falling down for all the kids.
Do it again. All right. And our last closing thought. Tell us your name.
My name is Saya.
Zaya.
Saya.
Okay. And tell us what you were going to say about kindness. You had something really special to say about kindness.
People are better because robots can't show kindness. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say that?
People are better than robots
People are better than robots.
because robots can't show kindness.
Robots can't say kindness.
Right. So people are better than robots because robots can't be kind.
You need to introduce yourself.
Oh. And I'm Becky. Honey.
Please say who you are.
Dad.
Dr. Cynthia.
Can I stand up, please?
So I asked the teachers also to introduce themselves because this is such an important part. We cannot have this part without these wonderful people. And thank you for our teachers. Please do that. I wanted to take a moment to give special recognition to Dr. Cynthia, which is why I dragged her up here. So one of the things that happens a lot in ministry is people come to you with ideas and concerns. And Dr. Cynthia and I walk a lot on Wednesdays with the Wednesday Walkers. And we've had some really powerful conversations about youth and family. And we are so excited for the teachers that are showing up. So thank you, Becky, for coming back. Some of y'all know Becky was with us running our tutoring program a long time ago. Good to see Marie Nicole back. And Dr. Cynthia is going to be stepping up to take more of a leadership role in youth and family. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Cynthia. All right. And now, Robert Quintana Hopkins. Oh, wait, sorry. Becky's amazing husband is Chris Hanif in the back, and he did ask me to remind you that the men's ministry just wants to meet you. So if you're male identified, please just say hi to Chris before you leave. All right, somebody wants to know you at East Bay. All right, Robert.
Thank you. Good morning, East Bay. So I bring you greetings on behalf of the East Bay Board. We had a board meeting this weekend on Saturday, and I just want you to know that your Board of Trustees are holding a high vision for this church. And I want you to know that we integrate our spiritual practices into our work. And speaking of that, one of the things you may have heard me say in the past is what I love about our philosophy is that it's applied. And so what's on my heart today is that I could come to you and I could ask you to give. We call this gracious giving, our ask. But you know what? Today I'm not going to ask. What's on my heart is instead to affirm, to know something about you. And what I know is that you are prosperous. What I know is that you have more than enough. What I know is that you give from the overflow. What I know is that any and everything that you desire is available for you right now to receive. What I know is that we prosper collectively because you prosper in your own life. I know that for every dollar that you give, there are 9 more in your pocket. And I'm just giving thanks for all the ways that you share your gifts and talents and treasure with this community. I am so grateful for you.
Thank you, Robert. And let us affirm using our offering statement and tithing statement that will be on the screen shortly. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive, and so it is. So I invite the ushers to come forward. If you need an envelope, just hold your hand out there. I think we can get one along the way. Thank you to our beautiful ushers in red. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the ways to give, on the screen, ways to give right now. You can do that or mail your check in to us. And we have the kiosk in the back. Thank you.
You got that information, our ways to give, amen? Spirit, you are our mother. You are our mother and father. We are the place. We are the place. We are the clay. You are the potter. We are the clay. We are the clay. We are the clay. You are the potter. Spirit, you are our mother. You are our mother and father. Every voice, Spirit, you are our mother. You are our mother and father. We are the clay. We are the clay. We are the clay. We are the clay.
So we give thanks for the abundant gifts that come into us, knowing that they bless us internally and we are able to bless the world. So I'm blessing all who gave, intention to give, and knowing that we are giving from the overflow. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, thank you. So we just have a few announcements that we want to make today, and then the rest will run on the slide. So JJ, if you could start that. And as the announcements are coming, I invite our guests to go meet Reverend Derica in the rear of the building. I think we have one person or two people that came in today. So the first announcement I know that's happening is Pathways of Fatherhood. Chris is in the back, and they're meeting this afternoon at 3:30. So you're welcome to join them, men. And tomorrow, can you go back? I would like to do these in order so I don't get confused. Today okay, that's right. So after service, we're having our Radical Hospitality Gathering. And let's meet in this room. We're going to go across, but just stay where we are. We have a lot of people signed up. And if you're still interested, come join us today. And if you're online, just use the QR code and we'll connect with you. Thank you. There's an election debrief on tomorrow night with Faith in Action. I invite you to join that with Chris Logan, who's not here. He's our person at East Bay who supports this ministry. A Wednesday night, I really invite you to come because I will be on Wednesday night service. And we are talking Rev Up Your GPA. Gratitude, prosperity, and abundance. It'll be a good time to have. We're on Zoom, so I'd like to see everybody there. And it's not too late to celebrate. We have had a wonderful 50th anniversary, and there's still opportunities. You can always donate, but we're starting a business director at East Bay. We have prices that are affordable for anyone who has a business who wants to advertise in our directory. So I'm scan the code, all the information's there. And Thanksgiving Day, Reverend Michelle and I will be here, and we would love to have those who are not with families come by, have dinner with us. We'll have music, testimonies, everything that we do it'll be our East Bay family together. If you want to participate, just scan the code. That's a way to tell us what you're bringing as your donation and that you're coming. We would love to have you here. And it's always a good time when we come together on Thanksgiving. And I believe that's it. Oh, food in the kitchen, hospitality in the fellowship. We have lots of food to eat and to pick up and take home. And Reverend Rika has an announcement.
Just quickly, is there any, we give out lays for folks who are here for the first time. Is there anyone we missed who is here for the first time that didn't get a lay? We just want to make sure that I get a chance to meet you. All right. So if you did get a lay and you want to hang out, I'm going to go back to the bookstore. We have a free book for you. And thank you so much for everything. Thank you, Reverend Arlene.
So giving thanks for this time that we're together, knowing that we leave here never separated from one another, that this and we are the expression of radical oneness. Giving thanks for this and for so much more, I invite you to anchor this by saying, and so it is,
And so it
and
is.
so we are,
And so we
and
are.
so I am,
So I am.
and so it is.
And if
One,
hold
two.
on. Oh. If you are a practitioner who's available for prayer, please come forward. And if you want prayer, please come forward we'll take you to the prayer room. Okay. Yes, if you desire prayer, just follow these nice, beautiful folks here.
And if there's any who want prayer, please come. Spirit, you are our Father.